right?
All places are mine.
Okay, so Stella, let's get to meet you. Let's really understand your journey so far. What have you been into? Just gist us, right? So let's get to meet you.
All right, like you know already, my name is Stella Ajulor, right? So I'm a software quality assurance tester, and you
Software
can.
quality assurance tester. Okay.
Okay, but let me still break it down because in as much as they are similar, they are two different roles,
Software. Okay.
right? So
Go ahead.
there's I'm a software tester and a quality assurance
Assurance
engineer.
engineer.
Yeah, actually. So I've been in the industry, in the tech industry generally for let's say 2 years plus now. Right, so aside the software testing and the quality assurance, I'm also into tech influencing. They call us the tech content creators. Yeah, I do that on TikTok and Instagram. I promote tech values for tech academies. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so how has it been like, right, over the years? Because you said you just got into tech within 2, 3 years. So that means you were not even in this field. So what were you doing?
Yeah, of course. As funny as it can be, right? I'm not a computer science student, right? Yeah, so I studied accounting
You don't look like
while
don't mind me.
yeah, I didn't study computer science. Yeah, I'm an accounting graduate, right? Yeah. So really, the old tech thing started, like I said, 2 years back, right? So before then, I used to work in the bank. I used to work in the bank as a fixed asset officer.
Oh,
I
okay.
only did discover the old tech information. That was when I was trying to source for a full-time role in the accounting firm. So I heard of the old tech G's, like there's a new thing out there, right? And and
If you
as
are not
an
in tech, you are not in
you
like,
get it. So as an agile youth that I am, I had to hop on that
Oh,
opportunity, and that
cool.
was like the beginning of my tech journey.
And was it so stressful? Was because the way you just said up on it, like, just the next thing you just became
And no,
so.
it's really not as easy as I mentioned. Like just up on it, it was a journey. It was a stressful journey. I won't lie to
Hmm.
you, right? I'd say the transitioning came about, let's say, 3 to 6 months, and trust me, it was not easy. Like it really was not easy. Yeah. At first, I was really confused when I wanted to start. When I wanted to go on that path, I was really confused on the exact career path to follow, because in the tech industry we have like various categories and various courses that you get to study. So starting off, it was not easy for me to really have my focus on a particular part. I was trying to like do this, do that, do this, do that. Okay, this is the one that is good. Okay, after finishing a particular course, yeah, no, there's another better one. Okay, let me try that. And I was going like
You were
round
actually
and
looking at the one that would pay you the most.
that is it.
Oh,
That is actually the
I
focus.
can imagine.
So
I can
I
imagine.
was going round and round and round until I told myself, come on, there's no time, because the whole going round was already taking like 3 months, and that's already getting to waste. So I had to like calm and take my time and do a proper research of trying to match my own personal skill with a particular test skill, and that was how I got to know about the software testing.
Okay, so what actually inspired you, right? I understand that you were trying to like test the waters, right? But what inspired you to pursue that software testing?
Okay, so during my practice as an accountant in the banking industry,
Okay.
right, I remember days back when I was working with Polaris Bank, right, as a fixed assets officer. So, of course, we make use of various software tools to execute our duties, right? So, I remember then while I'm working, we do come about issues like software related issues while working, and then you're trying to execute. Let me say you're even on a hot seat, right? You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
achieve this thing, and then boom, you're having one issue or another with the application. And then I remember this particular day I did batch into the software the IT department here, and I was really, I'm like, I don't have time, I have to deliver this, I have to deliver that, what's happening, all of that, and I was
And they were all
complaining.
just going everywhere
And you,
trying
you
to
get
help
it,
you.
and they were giving all this fuzzy body movement. I'm like, is there not a particular, like, I don't know, is there not like a particular team that is meant to take responsibility of issues, like making sure to like track issues, and so we don't have to go through all these issues and keep reporting and reporting. And then one of the IT team did call me up and was like, okay, there is actually a team that takes care of this, but right now they are not available.
Hmm.
So he was the one that actually gave me the whole picture of people that do take responsibility of this, which are the software testers. They are meant to track these issues so that we as the end users, that's we that will be the one using the application, would not be able to face all these issues. And then I'm like, I really find it
Okay.
interesting. It actually sounded interesting. So
Yeah.
when I wanted to do the whole researching thing, I did remember that scenario. And as a person, the kind of personal skill I have is I would no one is perfect actually, but
Yeah.
I would actually say I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, yeah. In my house, they call me the ego eye. Right. If there's one thing that's not looking right, I'm always nagging. I'm always nagging. This thing
So you
has
get
to
it
be right.
straight.
It has to be right. This thing is not nice. Then you get it. So matching that to the software testing skill, I think that makes sense. I think that would match with
Yeah.
my soft skill as a software tester.
Okay.
That was
So
alright.
it's safe for me to say that you've spotted a problem,
Yes, of
and then
course.
you thought about the kind of, based on your personality, you took it further to narrow it down to get a solution.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so in becoming a software tester, right? What are the certifications or experience that should be gathered? Because I know that being a software tester, there may be a need for one fundamental skills or the other.
Okay, yeah, for a starter, right? Before you really start, before you start up with technical aspects, yeah, you have to make use of your soft skill. The first one is attention to detail, right?
Okay.
You must really have that even before you get to know about the technical aspect of software testing, right? You must have the attention to detail skill and also the communication skill, because as a software tester, your role is not just to be reporting bugs and issues. You should also know how to communicate those issues to the developers or the software engineers.
Cool.
That's those that will be in charge of fixing that issue. Because imagine if you found an issue, and let me say the issue, let me say an issue with the login feature, for example. I'm sorry, I'm
That's
going
cool. Go
I'm
ahead.
going in depth, right?
Yeah.
I just want to use that particular example. So what I'm trying to push out is very clear. So for the login feature as it stands, I discovered an issue with the login feature, and I know that the issue that I found there is the customers will not be able to log in with their valid password and email, right? That's the issue. So me communicating to the developers, imagine if I communicate it in a way that to the developers, it seems like I'm saying they are able to, no, they are not able to log in, but they are able to impute their email and password. Those are two different issues. The issue there is they are not able to log in, but to the developers, he or she understands that they are not even able to impute their email and password. So if I'm not able to communicate this very clearly to them,
The
they
right
would not,
terms.
yeah, exactly, they will not really know where the issue is from, and that will not help them fix that issue. So as a software tester, one of the first skill that you should have before even knowing the technical aspects is the communication and attention to detail skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, let me just chip this in. I am sure you've heard about DevOps because I've heard you mention developers, right?
Yeah.
And I understand one of the roles of the DevOps um, manager is actually is more like an intermediary between the developers
Yeah.
and the operations managers
Yeah,
or the
of course.
operations team. So just to dive in a bit, what you said earlier. So you have a scenario where there's a software that is about to be
Released.
released. Now the developers come and say, okay, we need the software. Sorry, the operations come say, oh, we need the software, right? The developers work to build the softwares. So now as a software tester, you also come in between to say, okay, the software that has been built, are there errors? Do we test it? Are there vulnerabilities? Are there, like some of the what do they call it?
Bugs
The
and all of
bugs
that.
and the likes,
Yeah.
right? So just to help you break it down a bit, that's cool. That's awesome. So let's talk about some of the challenges you have faced in time past. So I know that there would have been challenges really, because the fact that you need to acquire those skills, you need to pay for those skills, right? And so let me know, aside from those financial burdens, right, or what exactly were the challenges aside from financials?
Okay, so the major challenge that I had in why transitioning, or let me even say after transition, I'm still going to come back to that financial aspect
Yes, you
because
will.
it's actually very
Very
important.
important.
So, but one of the major challenges that I had during transition is that I did not really have a go-to someone, like a close
Like a
mentor.
mentor.
Yeah, so
Oh,
all I had
please.
was tutors. I had bunch of tutors from different aspects, but I still do not have that person that I could really like ask. The tutors, the only time you spend with them is during the class, like during the training, right? But after the training they give you assignments.
Yes,
They
so
don't
and
really
they
have the
go their
time to,
lane. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Even after the whole train, after the whole period, I mean, everybody go your way, collect your certificate, and that is it. But I do not really have that go to someone that I can ask for guidance. Okay, what's the next step? Okay, what path should I follow? And so that was like a major issue that I had. And then going back to that financial aspect I mentioned, I mentioned that I was not a computer science student, right? So during the period when I did transition, I did not really make plan for the capital, and it really had an effect on me. It really had a negative effect on me because as the only capital that I had, or the only plans that I made was paying for the training. Right, I didn't consider, because in my mind I thought of, okay, they said the training is 3 months, and in 3 months time I should be cashing out. Just like how we all want quick money.
Yeah, you need
we
to
we heard
reality.
we heard tech is quick money, right? So I
Yeah,
plan
that's
in 3 months, I should be
cash out.
cashing out. So
I get.
after 2 months I had exhausted all the capital, all the finance that I had saved that
Yeah.
during my period of the NYC, and that was where I knew that it's really
Yeah.
done.
Reality.
Yeah, so this is reality. So that was actually the first huge challenge that really did hit and weigh me down during my transitioning process.
But I want to believe that things are a lot better now because there are quite a number of boot camps, like you called earlier, right? Communities that could actually help, right? So I could just mention one: aspiring women leaders
Okay.
in technology. So the website is wtechafrica.org. They actually help with this. They help you map, mentors, map it to mentors, and they have quite a number of free trainings.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
yeah, that's it. And I, one good thing is I know quite a number of foundations that are actually taking time to ensure that they give back to the community in terms of this technology. So please look out. So apparently, it's not just about what you've gone through. Most of the time, whatever it is we've been through just helps us to be able to help others, right? Position them better. That's the essence of a mentor.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
So
very true.
I quite understand, but it's fine. Now let's look at tools. Tell us
Okay.
about some tools, software tools, yeah, that you use for testing, quality assurance.
Okay. So as far as software testing is concerned, we have the manual software testing and
Okay,
the
manual
automation
and automation.
automation software testing. So for the manual, you do not necessarily have to focus on the technical aspects, right? You really have to focus on the soft skills, which is the attention to details and the
Oh,
communication skills, and of course the test case writing skills and the bug reporting. Like I said, you should know how to report, that communicate issues to the developer. So now going down to the automation part, that's where you get to learn a lot of software tools that will be used in software testing. We have for functional testing. I'm already going in depth.
fine,
I'm
fine.
going in
Yeah,
depth right now.
yeah. There are quite a number of
So
people who understand your terms, so
yeah,
it's
so
fine.
for functional testing, we make use of Selenium and Cypress. And we have a lot
Okay.
of them, but majorly what we use in this part of the country, and generally we make use of Selenium and Cypress for functional testing. Then for testing the API, right, we make use of Postman and Newman and also the likes of them. Then also for performance testing, that's to test the performance of the application, as far as to test if the application is not slow, that swift getting reply back from the application as the user. Then we have the likes of JMeter to test the performance of the
Okay, so
application.
let's put it down a bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I remember you mentioned that one of the challenges you faced was the financials, right? You thought maybe when you're done with your 3 months, you just get the gig, like just hit that jackpot. So a lot of people are facing this challenge, right? It's a thing for you to gather those skills, but we all know that you need this daily income
Yeah.
to be able to make something meaningful. We are not saying that you should be dependent on money, but we know that money could also help you, advance your skills, or achieve certain things in life that you want to achieve. So how have you been able to do it, right? Um, were you an intern at the point? How did you get your current job? Just let us know so that somebody out there can learn.
Yeah, so starting off, yeah, I started as an intern, a free, no, a non-paid intern
Oh, okay.
actually, yeah, a non-paid intern because I didn't really say I was in pursuit of the get good as the money.
Yeah.
Money is part of it, but for a start, I would also advise that to every other newbie starting off in the industry. For a start, you should be focused on learning the skills, right? You should focus on learning the skills, not the money. If you are pursuing the money, you might not really get the best out of it. Yeah, focus on being good at what you do. So that was actually how I started off. I
Having
did
out a niche for yourself.
exactly.
And
So
giving it your best shot.
yeah, exactly. So I started with a non-paid internship. Yeah, so from there I did apply on LinkedIn and I got my first paid internship.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was like the beginning of it. And then another thing is I did put myself out there as a techie. Like I said, we all expect there's a bag of money there waiting for us immediately we finish, so that we just go there and start exhausting. But it doesn't work that way. It's another thing for you to learn and it's another thing for you to get job. There are two different things. So but what I did was put myself out there, let people know what I do, let people know what I'm into, talk about my expertise and all of that. And that was actually how I started getting out gigs. I mentioned that I was a I'm currently a freelancer. I'm not tied down to a particular organization, and that's because I get gigs from various sources. And I think so far I'm fine with that for now.
So I like that. I like that. I'll just have to pinpoint certain things that you've said. Well, first you said find a problem so that you can create the solution. You also said that you should find a niche for yourself. Don't be too after the don't be too focused on the money, because really it will come, but you
of
must
course.
gather that skills so
Course.
that you are very good in whatever it is that you're doing. And then you also said that it's okay to find internship programs. It's okay to find a place where you could practicalize without really getting those money in turn. But just try as much as possible to ensure that whatever it is that is going to get you positioned to have that skills in depth, and then be present. Bring yourself out there. If you have to if you have to sign up on your LinkedIn, GitHub, certain things you've learned over time, and also you could throw your CVs out there.
Yeah.
Don't always wait for an organization to reach out to
Call
you.
you, yeah.
Don't get tired. And there was a particular post I saw of someone who actually had attended interviews, over 100 interviews.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but she finally landed a dream job, right? You can't get tired, right? So, and then for some of the Gen Zs, we need to say this, right? Particularly for Gen Zs, there's this peer pressure out there. You see the Gen Zs now, they're making it because of the way the social media platform has given a lot of leverage, has given a lot of opportunity, right? But please be careful, be mindful, because really not everybody that is doing all those gigs or stuff that are really
Yeah.
doing those stuff or making it. Just find a niche for yourself and relax. It will definitely come. Please go ahead.
Yes, it will definitely come. The money will come
Yeah.
later on, but at first, focus on harnessing the skills because if like I said, if you're being focused on the money, you won't be able to explore. You won't know that there are actually greater opportunity out there for you. You just be focused. While like I said, I didn't really have someone to guide me. So starting off, I only had the manual expertise, right? So should I say, I was being I was being focused on a particular niche. I didn't really know that there was more that I could get out of the software testing thing, and that's the side of
Oh,
the
yes, automation.
automation skill. Yeah,
Yeah.
automation testers pay
Yeah.
their pay is higher than the manual
The manual
testers. Yeah, so
testers.
it was after when I did my research, I did find out that there's something bigger out there.
Out there.
Yeah, so while starting off, you really need to make your research, right? Know the necessary skill that you need to have to be an expertise in that particular.
Let's talk about content creation,
Okay.
right? You're a content creator. So why did you incorporate that into what you're doing? Because
To be frank, yeah, I did not see myself being a tech content creator. While starting off, my plan was me putting myself out there was just for getting gigs. Yeah, I didn't really see myself. And then after a while, I started getting emails from tech companies like, "Can you influence for us? Can you influence?" I'm like, "Oh wow, that can also be a part. That can also come as a side hustle." So that was how I did start off the whole tech influencing thing. I didn't have plan. I
so
didn't have
how
plan
easy
from
is
start.
it for you to always put yourself out there, right?
Make I do really make use of my social media pages, the TikTok, the Instagram, and the LinkedIn. It's not everybody. Most techies. I know you must have heard that most techies are introverts. So
Not so I wouldn't want to say most techies are introverts because I am a cybersecurity expert, right?
Okay.
I'm in the tech field. I've been in tech field for years.
Oh,
So
interesting.
in terms of introverts, I won't say that, right? I feel like there are quite a number of things to do. Like we are constantly being engaged.
Yeah, that's
And we just have to get ourselves so glued to the system because there's one solution or one problem that you want to solve. But you see, you need to be able to separate yourself. So that's what I'm asking. How have you been able to separate yourself from hey, the software has an issue, please come and test, those kind of stuff, right? How have you been? Because you work, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
I
work
do.
and then you influence with certain people. So how have you been able to create that time to be
Okay.
present, to show up on a daily basis? It's not easy.
Yeah, it really isn't. But then again, we know our kind of work actually works with timing, right? You know that in a week there are certain tasks that are being apportioned to each of us, and you know what you're meant to achieve in that week. Our should I say no? Let me don't spill this secret here. Let me
No
don't
worries,
spill
it's
this secret
okay.
here. But for instance, now I know that it takes five. Let me say it takes 3 days for me to accomplish a particular task, right?
Okay.
So what's wrong with being focused on my system for 2 days? I get it done, and then that extra one day, I can use it to do everything I want to do. Like you can really be what you want to be. It all depends on how you do your
Yeah,
thing.
true.
Yeah, how you organize your timing and all of that. You can really be what you want to be. Yes, it's not like I have free. I have all the time in the world in my hands. Really, yeah,
Because I
but
have a question that I'm really wanting to ask you personally.
okay.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, it's not like I have all the time in the world, but I do really know how to program my timing on how to do various activities.
Okay, so how do you spend your leisure time? Because really, you can't just be on the system 24/7 and the influencing. Abba, won't you hang out with friends, go to club parties?
My own leisure time is in front of the camera.
I beg you.
If I'm
Let's
not
talk about. Are you kidding me?
if I'm not in front of the computer, I'm in front of the camera.
Ah.
Likewise, I'm
You
making
see?
money. Yeah,
You are
I'm
not.
there.
See, you are making money, but you're not. Are you sure you are creating this life-work balance like this? Because you need to create. I'm telling you, because you see, I heard you say, oh, you balance. I mean, you prioritize. Or how did you even put it? I can't get
Timing.
structure, timing. You see now, no timing for clubbing. I'm not saying you should go clubbing though. Don't let me. Your choice, really. Uh-huh. Okay, so she has confessed that she goes clubbing. Okay, so a quick one. Technology keeps evolving every day. There's one new thing to learn. How do you keep up? In this tech landscape, where there's quite a number of innovations. AI came out some years back, and now you see him AI producing content for your pages, your social adverts and certain things that it can do. So, but aside AI, there are quite a number of new innovations that are out springing up on a daily basis. How do you meet up so that you don't get outdated?
Okay, so really, I made mention of joining a lot of communities on LinkedIn. That really helps. You join group chats. I joined group chats on LinkedIn. I did join quite a number of communities. So whenever there's this new update as regards software testing or even tech generally, I always get those information. Yeah, from there. So I just once I get there, I'll take time and do my research and see how I can learn, where I could learn them, and yeah, that's how I go.
That sounds good. Because now, recently I went to my mailbox. It was getting so filled up, like it was, and I just went clicked on searched on unsubscribe to just start, taking off quite a number of things. And then you see sometimes on LinkedIn, you see someone say like me, and then the moment is just like or approve or something, you have automatically
Yes,
accepted
yes.
these. So I get now, because I really didn't see the part of the LinkedIn communities. I am in several LinkedIn communities that actually speak to what I really want to learn. But I think that's a plus, like having to take time how to join some of these communities, and also take time to get yourself abreast of current trends. That's a good one. You said quite a number of things. And if you have someone come to meet you today to say, "Hey, Stella, I would like to become a quality assurance engineer or a software tester," what would you say to that person?
Okay, really, my first question to that person is that what you really want to be? Like, have
I
you
want
made
to
your
look like
research?
Stella. I want to become
That
Stella.
you see where that question is coming from, because I get a lot of messages like that on my TikTok, and even people around me, families and friends. I want to do what you're doing. I'm like, no, calm down. I know you like what I'm doing, but do you even know what I'm doing? Like, do you have an idea of
An idea?
what I'm doing? Have you made your research? Do you think it's something you can do? If, okay, let's say for instance, I was not a software tester. What if I was a software developer and I do code? No one likes coding these days. So would you come up and say, I want to do
Some
what
people
you
still
do?
like coding.
Yeah, but some of them. So would you still say you want to do what I do? So first question I'll ask them is, have you made your research? Is that really what you want to do? Does it match with your own personal skills? So if that's good to go, quite and all right. So next thing is I give them quite a number of tools that they need to learn. Like I mentioned, for the functional aspects, we have tools we make use of. That is the Selenium and the Cypress. Then for API, we have the Newman and Postman. You need to know how to use these tools to become a successful software tester, right? To really have your seat as a professional.
If you advise me that, I'll run. No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
don't
give me
run.
Selenium.
But you want to,
Ah,
you want to,
Selenium.
but you want to be like me now. But you just mentioned you want to be like.
Selenium. I beg. I will run. No,
Well,
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so that is how it works in the software testing world. So, and another thing is get yourself a mentor, which is very important.
Why would I be looking for mentor when I have Stella?
Yeah, go and sign up for mentorship program. Get yourself a mentor, which is very, very important, so that you get acquainted with list of tools that
Very
that
important.
yeah, it is very. And also when you finish, another advantage of having a mentor is when you finish, they get to hook you up with one or two startups or firms that are looking for software testing, so that you don't just be on your own. Because like I said, it's another thing to learn, and it's another thing to get a job, right, in the tech industry. You'll be surprised once you're done learning, and then you expect to start making money, and it feels like, what's going on? What's going on? How am I not making the money? It's not like you're not trying. It's not like you're not sourcing for jobs. It's not like you're not sending out CVs. But really, you need one or two people to hold your hand, and
And you are making it a bit easier for you.
yeah.
Let me
of
ask you this
course.
question: what's your net worth? I recently saw a post, and they were saying Thatcher's net worth is $8,000. Toby Bakari is $500 million.
50,000.
So what's your net worth?
Right.
Because really, if I want to become Stella and I want to, I need to know your net worth. So I need to really, analyze it. So that when I'm going on that journey to become a software tester, I am expecting $500 million.
Okay, let me make it general now. That
Okay.
question, let me make it general. For software testing role in Nigeria, to start off as an intern, we'll be looking at the likes of 100,000, 250,000 as
Okay.
an intern. Then moving on to the entry level, you're looking at 200, the range of 250,000 to
I'm reading people's
three.
mind now that I'm watching. I'm listening. Continue.
Calm, I'm still going.
They've not had. Oh, jeez.
So 350,000. And for the professional level, you can go as high as 500,000, 600,000 in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Yeah,
Thank
in
you for
Nigeria.
stressing that.
In Nigeria. So, but outside Nigeria, most times you get the hourly paid roles, right? They get to pay you per hour and all that. Don't worry, I've answered your question.
I've actually done an analysis on QA,
Okay.
QA engineers. I've done an analysis on AI engineers and quite a number of software testers and the likes. Yes, if we talk about the daily pay, seriously, I'm not looking at the Nigeria. I'm looking at remotely. Quite one opportunity that I know a lot of people stands to gain as a tech guru or a tech professional is the diverse multiple channels of getting employment. So I've actually done that analysis for the QA engineer, the software testing engineer, and quite a number of professional skills. I see that most of them are within the range of $150 to $250,000. So dollar now you can calculate it times 1,550. So we can do the calculation. But the truth is, that's a whole lot of opportunity, and some people are also not taking. Some people who are in the tech field, need to also add certain skills to themselves. Skills to search, being in communities, position yourself better. How do you package your profile? What are the terminologies that you use on your profile? That gives you that leverage. Some people don't even understand where they sit on, the kind of skills they have, and how much they could earn. So for some of us who may be considering becoming a software tester like Stella, I am encouraging you now. $250,000, no be joke. So you may start thinking about it. So thank you so much, Stella, for this wonderful session that we had. It was really nice having you here. I want to believe that a lot of people, those who listen to this, episode, I want to believe that they will be encouraged to start. And I know that from what you have said in summary, it's very important that you solve a problem. And don't be scared of starting. There was a part where I asked you if somebody comes to meet you, I want to be like Stella, and you're like, no, don't be like Stella. What do you really like? So find out your passion. So for someone who apparently loves to organize things, that's someone that is very meticulous, is so detailed, always want to ensure that things are put in its perspective and proportion and thereabout. There are certain certifications and skills that you may want to go and start with or consider. And then for software test, for those who apparently want to start the software testing journey, that you need to have foundational level. Before you say you want to start, diving into technology, have certain foundational skills. We have what we call the digital literacy. Digital literacy exposes you to the different aspects. You have your cloud computing. What do they do? When you say a cloud professional, what do they do? What is their role in an organization? Right? Then when you say, CompTIA A+, or when you say when you say some certain terminologies like your TCP, your IP address, your LAN, and all those, there are certain things that you must be grounded in, right? You have your foundational skills, then you move further a bit to other relevant skills before you now become a software tester. Don't just go and jump and because say you want to go and read give me that word again. Please give me that word again.
We sure.
This whole God. Don't worry. So if you find this episode very interesting and you want to see more, we want us to invite more guests, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.